Hello everyone and welcome to the vlog. I'm just about to get ready for my barre class. We're going to a studio that I have been before. I think we've done infrared, but today I'm just doing a normal barre class. My sister's been and she said it's really challenging. I've decided to trial a new style of morning routine. I decided to tweak my morning routine slightly. As you can see, you're probably kind of surprised that I put some breakfast on the stove, seeing as it's 6 a.m. But I want to eat before I work out and do some other things in the morning before I head off for my workout. Having breakfast before just gives me kind of one less thing to do when I get back, and I can just kind of make my coffee, start work and get right into it. If you don't know me, my name is Hannah. I make content all about self-development, living your best life, building a great routine, living my life in London and what I get up to. So if that is your vibe, then subscribe. Boy, am I glad to be back home. It is hellish out there. It's one thing for it to be 1 degree Celsius, but the rain on top of it, London, you're doing entirely too much. I can deal with rain and it's kind of mild. It contrasts with the rain. You get a balance. You get to wear something light. You get to wear just like a waterproof jacket and you're good. But this... not my cup of tea. First of all, let's talk about that class. Unfortunately, as soon as we walked in, she was like, no phones, put your phones in your lockers. That's why I couldn't get any shots in there, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. But that class was tough. That was tough. That's tougher than the barre class that I done last week and tougher than the infrared barre class that I do there. Definitely challenging, but it's pushing me. I need to work on my core. Sometimes I feel like I'm super fit and then I get humbled by a class like that. I'm gonna get in the shower, I'm gonna start work, and I feel really good that we've already had breakfast. I'm hoping the rain stops because I kind of wanted to run a couple errands. I can't go back out there with the wicked combination of these two weather elements. I'm gonna say this is a swan. You got like the head there and then the body here. I've got my coffee in hand. I'm gonna do a nice work block now for a few hours until lunch. We'll just see if the rain lets up. I did want to grab a couple of things and potentially grab some Christmas decorations too for my Christmas tree, but we'll see how things go. I'm either gonna have something like maybe soup for lunch. If I go out during lunch, then I won't have time to do that, so we'll make soup for dinner. I'm ready to brace the cold again. I'm gonna wear my obnoxious boots. Wait, let me show you. My sister says they're obnoxious because they clink, clank, clink, clank, but they are boots. That is what they do. And the rain has stopped, which has made this even better. This is just gonna have to look a bit. I've gotten so much use out of these boots. They're from Jigsaw. I got them probably almost 3 years ago now. This is them. I don't like to step too far into my flat because I just mopped the floors 2 days ago. Put them side to side and see will they work together. We're back. I'll show you a couple other things that I got, but first of all, I'm having just put lunch in the oven and I'm doing simmer eats, and then we'll make soup for dinner, and it's lamb and harissa sliders. It doesn't have that much protein in it. This is 20 grams of protein, so I'm thinking because I'm gonna have a ham and cheese toasty with my soup later on, but I think I might have a tuna melt just to up the protein intake for the day. But you know what? This lamb and harissa smells really good. It smells like a Turkish kebab, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna plate this up and then obviously we'll do a taste test. It doesn't look that tantalizing, to be honest. It's like, when it says sliders, it's kind of like lamb burgers with some rice, peppers, and some broccoli. And then also I put some coleslaw and some peri-nase on the side. This is nice. I thought it might be really chewy. It's not, doesn't need any salt. Very good. I'm gonna eat the rest of this while I work. Once I got in, I thought, was it seriously 1 degree? Because why does it feel like minus? And it said it feels like -5 degrees, but 1 degree. Like, that makes sense. It makes sense that I felt like my fingers were gonna fall off. Okay, so this is what I got while I was out. I picked up this headband from Lululemon, and it's sweat winking and it keeps your hair in place, and it has this Velcro, if you can see that there, at the front and at the back, just to keep it settled. I was thinking of getting the one from Gymshark, and hell, I might get that one too, but it was over £20, and I thought this one is £10, and surprisingly from Lululemon. But the Gymshark one is wider. I might end up getting both. I can try it on for you if you like, but first of all, I went to John Lewis, and I got my first baubles because I haven't had a Christmas tree in my flat before. I didn't have that in my old flat because it was way too small. If you have been subscribing from when I was in my old flat, you know why. And I got this. I just think it's very, very me coded. Shatterproof decorations, and they're like metallic, different colors, and it's 30 in here. And I was walking around, as you could, and like I showed you what John Lewis looks like, right? And it has so many decorations, like different ones you can pick up, individual ones, and some of the individual ones were like £15. And I thought, paid £15 for one decoration when I got this for $8.50. It's actually said £12. I was prepared to spend £12, and I think this is kind of pretty good for £12 in my opinion. But then I got to the till and it was $8.50. Don't you love when you get a surprise like that? When you're prepared for the price it was when you saw it, and then you go to the till and it's less. There's no greater feeling. So I might treat myself to a couple of the fancy ones. I'm gonna go to Anthropology on the weekend. This is nice. Let me put it on. I'm not sure exactly how one should wear it. I think you can wear it behind your ears. You can wear it on your ears. Have a bit of my ears out, and then just put it in a claw clip. My hair won't fall on my face in class because it was doing that last week when I was in my bar class. Or I can have it not covering my ears. That's nice too. I was just looking in the recipe book and in all the processes to make my soup, and I realized that I have no blender. And I don't know why that hasn't popped into my head. I've never made like a smooth soup before. Obviously you need either a hand blender or a big blender, and I don't have a big blender. My sister has one that we share because we use a big blender. It sounds so weird to say that we share a blender, but we have joint custody of the blender from when we lived together. Going to her flat, getting the blender, coming back, I just showered. I'm not doing all that. That's just entirely too much. So unfortunately, no soup today. I'm probably gonna order in some sushi or something. I'm not feeling hungry right now, but we'll see where the evening goes. I am gonna grab the blender from my sister tomorrow and make it for lunch. So hopefully if I do that, I don't know if you're that interested in the soup anyway or if it's just me, but I'll insert the clips of me making it once I have it tomorrow afternoon. I've ordered my food. I got this shrimp and crab yaki udon and then some shrimp gyozas, which I'm quite excited about now. I was thinking about getting sushi, but because it's just been a really cold day today, I feel like having something a bit more warm. I was gonna get ramen, but the ramen place that I like is closed. And they did do ramen in this place, but I didn't want to chance it. I've had the yaki udon there before. I know it's good. I know that 5 AM morning routines are very popular. And I know that sometimes people are like, I'm not falling for that propaganda, and you don't have to. You should do whatever works right for your routine. But for me personally, that's propaganda that I bought into, and I feel like has really benefited my life and has affected my life in a positive way. I think the trick to it, or whenever you want to wake up early, if it's 6, 7, whatever, is curating it and making it suit your lifestyle and things that you want to do. Because I remember at first when I started waking up early and I'd read all of these like self-help books and stuff, and it motivated me to wake up early in the morning and, you know, get stuff done, eat the frog, all that. I would kind of copy and paste things from the book, and then I'd realize I didn't really like it. Like, I know some people love a lot of things like affirmations and gratitude and journaling and visualization. They do that all when they first wake up, and I thought, okay, I'll do that too. That seems like a really positive thing to do in your life, right? But it just didn't work well for me. I'm not that kind of person. I don't journal every day. I don't enjoy journaling every morning the first thing when I wake up, because it feels a bit like a chore. It feels a bit like a tick off exercise. It started to feel like I just opened my eyes at 5 AM and I already have 5 things that I need to tick off: my gratitude, visualization, journaling, and all of that. Personally, what works for me, literally the first thing I say when I wake up is thank you for another day. That's like the first thing that comes out of my mouth, because, well, I just woke up in the morning. I get to live another day. I get to slay. So that's the first thing I do, and that is my gratitude. Then I like to make a tea and read a fiction book in bed, or just like plan out my day. Or if I feel like I have things in my head that I want to get down on paper, then I'll journal just when I feel like it. I feel like that's a big kind of hack, I guess. I don't know. Try not to copy paste exactly what you might see in a book, so what exactly you might see a creator do. It's not too bad to do that at first, but do what you want to do when you wake up in the morning. I feel like that's what makes it last longer, is that you don't feel like it's so much of a chore because you're having to wake up and do this and that, if that makes any sense. So yeah, just something that's not like social media and doom scrolling when you wake up. Do that. That's just a little rant about how I feel about morning routines. Here are my dumplings. Really, really good. Shrimp and chive, I've got 4 in there. Our noodles, they're still really hot. It doesn't look like all that appetizing on here, but trust me, it's delicious. I wanna be 20-something, I'm still in my head. 17 in my bedroom talking, you said that by now. So I'm currently watching Married at First Sight UK. I think I've mentioned that before, but this season has been really good, the latest season. And usually by the time it gets to when it's towards the end, I find it a little bit bore snore, but this has stayed consistently entertaining throughout. I have to give them that. Like, I do not know what to expect from these couples at their vow renewal. You know, most of the couples are supposed to kind of be locked in, but I feel like only 2 of the couples out of the maybe 5 or 6 that are left are not locked in. I'm not even someone who really likes reality TV, but sometimes I do like having this kind of thing on in the background, like while I'm just on my laptop. I don't have to pay too much attention to it. It's not like some huge drama show that I have to like, that I'm on the edge of my seat for. I also finished watching All Her Foul, obviously, and like I said in my last video, highly recommend. That show was fantastic. That was brilliant TV. Oh my gosh, that was just brilliant TV. I couldn't recommend it enough. Let's wind down for the evening. I really have to pick up my clothes sometimes the night before. I try and do this most of the time, especially if I have an earlier morning class. Like tomorrow I've got a 6:30 or 7 a.m. class, because it just removes the element of thinking at 5 o'clock in the morning. The more prepared I am, the more likely I am to get out of bed and not roll over and go back to sleep. Because if I wake up at 5 a.m. and I don't know what workout I'm doing, I don't know what I'm gonna wear, haven't packed my gym bag, I'm rolling over and I'm sleeping, because that is just entirely too much for my 5 a.m. brain. However, the class I booked is a class pass, and if I don't go I will be charged £18. So class pass is really good at making you follow through. You just have to make sure you book the class and don't cancel it. Don't be like, oh, I'll book the class in the morning, because your 5 a.m. brain is not going to want to book a 6:30 a.m. class when you're up at 5. It's going to want to go to bed. I've had a lovely day with you guys, as per, I must say, and I hope you also enjoyed this vlog. The days are getting colder, it's -degrees, but that's not going to stop us. And I can't wait for you to see the Christmas content starting from next week. I'm very excited for that. He's insane. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it is time for bed, and guys, I feel like at this point I must give you a book update every single time. I still haven't finished this book. Last vlog I said that I'm determined to finish the book because it has such huge ratings, such good reviews, but I'm not happy about the fact that I have to do it. Now I am happy about the fact that I had to do it. Almost that night from the last vlog, it started to get good, okay? It started cooking like the people had promised. And then part 1 finished, and like I think I said briefly, part 1 was like almost 300 pages, and then moved on to part 2, and then part 2 more confusion. Like it's like I just started to get obsessed, and then part 2 we go back like 5 years when the war started, and I'm just like scratching my head. And now part 2 is getting good. It's so weird because, like I said, this book is 1,000 pages. I'm about halfway through, so just over 500 pages in. And usually with a 500-page book, I would have read 3 of those by now, you know? So for it to be like just 500 pages and it's taken me a couple weeks, put that into perspective for you, that is a long time for me. This is truly a slow reader. You cannot just like, you've got to read every word in this book, and some words you have to reread over and over again. But I'm determined to finish it. Anyway, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this vlog. Love whenever I see any comments in the comment section, so please don't hesitate to write something there. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you're doing that, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.